new storm is taking aim at Florida. The system, now forecast to strengthen into Hurricane Helene, is expected to make landfall along the Big Bend.
And the storm could become a major Category 3 hurricane. And right now, South Florida is not in the cone of concern, but the lower keys are under a tropical storm warning. Our Weather Authority team is here with the latest advisory. Let's kick things off with our Chief Certified Meteorologist, Betty Davis.
It is really going to be something to watch this one evolve. It is starting to become better organized. The new stats are in. If you were with us just last half hour, the maximum sustained winds were at 45 miles per hour. Those winds now up to 50 miles per hour, and the pressure has come down a bit. It was 999 millibars, now 995 millibars. Moving west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. The center of Tropical Storm Helene, 150 miles south of the western tip of Cuba, so it's still over the northwest Caribbean Sea. It is still forecast to pull out toward the Gulf of Mexico come Wednesday, where it continues to draw from very warm waters and strengthen to a Category 3 hurricane and head for a landfall in the vicinity of the Big Bend of Florida. You can see those areas in the orange. Those are the hurricane watches on that west side of Florida. And then, of course, we mentioned the fact that the lower keys right here close to home, we are under a tropical storm warning. So with this new advisory, not a whole lot changing for us here in Broward, Dade, and the Keys, expecting the same. Tomorrow into Thursday, we need to be prepared for winds that gust 40, maybe 50 miles per hour in and around the lower Keys. And with that, let's bring in our hurricane specialist and storm surge expert, Michael Lowry. Michael, we were just talking about the sheer size of this system, and with such a sizable system, will the calling card for this one wind up being more, say, the storm surge than the rain for a place like the Big Bend?
It could be, Betty, and the rainfall is nothing to thumb our noses at either, because this being so large is going to have a big footprint, not just in Florida, but across the southeast U.S. Here's that latest information, Betty, as you just showed from the National Hurricane Center, the new advisory in, winds ticking up to 50 miles per hour. I mentioned last hour about this buoy about 20 miles away from where Helene was. The pressure is continuing to fall. The pressure is at 995 at that buoy, and that's what the Hurricane Center cited for lowering the pressure. So this is a gradually organized storm. When you look at the satellite picture, the visible satellite picture, this is a healthy outflow. The winds, the wind flow around the system has improved considerably throughout the day. You can see outflow well established on all sides. What's been missing is the central convection or thunderstorm activity right over where the center is. And we're seeing that beginning to blossom and spread to the west, which could be indicative of this beginning a gradual strengthening process. Once it gets over the Gulf of Mexico, as Betty talked about, this is expected to take off very quickly and could become a formidable Category 3 hurricane. Take a look at the storm surge here. The forecast is for 10 to 15 feet of potential catastrophic storm surge into the neck of Florida there, the west coast of Florida on the Gulf side, anywhere from Alligator Point down to Crystal River, including Cedar Key, Steenhatchee. These are all areas that have recently experienced big storm impacts. Hurricane Debbie this year, Hurricane Idalia last year. And the update here for the storm surge alerts, we have storm surge warnings up for much of the west coast of Florida. It includes Tampa Bay now and Charlotte Harbor into Port Charlotte. So you're going to see these watches and warnings just creep up the coast as this moves to the north. Now here's the rainfall forecast. We're going to get some rain bands from this system because, as Betty said, this is so large. This is one of the largest systems that I've seen forecast for the eastern Gulf of Mexico in some time. 2 to 4 inches here in South Florida. Localized flooding could be an issue, but then spreading well inland into North Georgia, the Tennessee Valley, into western Carolinas. This could be a big flood event deep into the southeast U.S. Of course, something we'll keep you posted on.